There we go. It says it's live.
Woohoo! Let's check on Facebook. Nice. We're live in the event. Hey, everyone. Welcome. It is 9:58 Central Time, 10:58 Eastern Time. We're jumping on a couple minutes early because we are using a new streaming service. We're not sponsored, but it's called StreamYard, and it's really cool. And I already love it so much more than going live with Zoom. So thank you all for joining us this morning, whether you are popping on and joining us live or watching this after the fact. Regardless, or if you were joining us on YouTube or Facebook, welcome. Let's see here. We've got 6 people joining us. If you are jumping on now, please comment and tell us where you are tuning in from. We would love to know that. Abby is in Baton Rouge. I'm going to do introductions here in just a minute, but we got Abby in Baton Rouge. We've got Tim at our Ugly Mug HQ in Alexandria, Louisiana, and then I'm actually coming to you live from Raleigh, North Carolina, which is super fun. So we've got a pretty dynamic hybrid team, and Tim soon is actually going to be moving to Tennessee. So yeah, please tell us in the comments where you are joining us from. So Ernie is joining from Alexandria, Louisiana. Love that. Love to see it. Yeah, anyone else, feel free to jump in. Tell us where you're joining us from. We are going to get started here in just a minute and dive into all the things, all the reasons that you're here. All right, so we've got Ernie watching. Who else is joining us? We've got Leanne in Alexandria. Hey, Leanne. So happy you're able to join us. I'm like watching comments come in both places. I'm like, I need to put my phone down. I forget we have like this feature now where I can see it on the back end on our screen.
Yeah, I like this little view counter up here too, and like the lights. It's really neat.
Yeah, love it. Cool. Well, welcome everyone. My name is Hannah Acosta, and I am the manager of the social media department here at Ugly Mug Marketing. And we are excited today to be sharing with you our best kept secret. And it is this: how to create 3 months of Facebook and Instagram content in just one single day. And you might be a little skeptical. You might be like, I don't really know if I can do this. Is this for experts? Is this for beginners? Is this for people who are at somewhat of an intermediate level? It is for all people. We believe that you can do this, whether you're just getting started with your Facebook page or you've been in the Facebook and Instagram or social media game for quite some time. Now, joining me today, I'm really excited because sometimes it's just me. But joining me today, I have my seriously ride or die team: Tim Johnson, one of our social media coordinators, and Abby Thomas, another one of our social media coordinators. They are the people that help the Hot Mess Express, which is kind of what I've titled myself. But they help the Hot Mess Express continue moving in the right direction and keep moving it all and help our clients reach their business goals on social media. Abby and Tim, I want to introduce y'all officially, and I want to ask you a question. And my question is, what is your favorite? It can be Netflix, it can be Peacock, it can be Apple TV. What is your favorite show, movie, documentary on a streaming service?
Right now, I'm a big still watching Gilmore Girls. I can watch that all the time. So that's my go-to right now.
Nice. What about you, Tim?
For me, Ted Lasso. I actually just rewatched it for like the second or third time recently. I don't know. I can't wait for season 3. It's a great show.
Oh my gosh, yes. I also am a big Ted Lasso fan. I've been really into the Netflix documentaries lately. I recently watched, I was telling Abby and Tim before we came on and went live, I've been watching the Abercrombie and Fitch documentary, which is wildly fascinating, because I was definitely one of those kids that was wearing Abercrombie and Fitch early on, and then it kind of fizzled and died out, and now it's kind of back, you know, if you follow a lot of
Is it back?
influencers. It is back. It's back
Interesting.
with the influencers, and it's very interesting. So great documentary. You know, if you have a free couple of hours, I would highly recommend that. Or Gilmore Girls, and definitely Ted Lasso too. And Tim, you're kind of inspiring me. I feel like I need to go back and rewatch Ted Lasso now. I don't. When's the third season coming out? Do we know?
I don't know, actually. Hopefully sometime this year, but because I imagine they had to have already started filming since, like, I mean, the last season came out last year at some point. So
yeah, totally. I've also heard that Ted Lasso is ending at season 3. Like,
I
it's
believe
only
so.
supposed to be a 3-part show, which
Mhm.
upsets me deeply because I really love Ted Lasso. But anyway, guys, this is the team. That's a little bit about us. You're not here to hear about our favorite Netflix shows, or Apple TV. But, you know, feel free to tell us in the comments what your favorite show is. I'm very curious, and I'm always looking for a new thing to watch. So let's go ahead and dive into what we're going to be covering today. We've got a little agenda. And this is really the framework for how you can create 3 months of content in just one day. When we talk about one day, I'm not talking about pulling an all-nighter and being up for 24 hours or being up for 12 hours straight. I'm talking about a singular workday, 8 hours with lunch breaks, snacks included. We are going to cover planning, creating, and implementing. So I'm going to be talking about planning, talking about content categories and a template that you can create to plan out your content for the course of those 3 months. Then I'm going to turn it over to Abby. She's going to talk about writing copy and how you can best organize that copy and make sure that your team has the ability to give you feedback before it ever gets published. And then she is our in-house Canva graphic guru. Okay, there's no one on our team who is more talented, more creative, who forgets the templates, but don't worry, there are templates. She's going to give us her best tips and tricks on setting up your Canva account and creating really, really beautiful scroll-stopping, eye-catching graphics. And then at the very end, Tim is going to talk to us about implementing, and he's going to talk to us about Meta Business Suite and Creator Studio and all the different ways that you can schedule your posts by simply just using the tools within Facebook, not having to go and use Hootsuite or sign up for any other scheduling tool. If you're just talking about Facebook and Instagram, these are the tools that you need to use in order to schedule the same, if not different, content across all of your platforms. So let's go ahead and get started. So Tim, if we want to jump into this first slide, and it is this. Before I even touch on my first point about planning, one of the questions that I get a lot is, and I would say Abby and Tim get this question a lot, is how often should we be posting? Are we posting enough? Are we posting too little? They get stressed out, and then they're like, oh, but you guys are just posting one time a week, but then we have these ads running full time. You know, what's the secret sauce? What is the answer to when we should post, how often we should post? And I just want to lead with this, that consistency creates miracles. I fully believe in that. I don't believe that you need to post every single Friday at 2:59 p.m. to get the maximum amount of traction on your post. I don't believe that you need to post 7 times a day in order for your boutique to be thriving so that you can build your warehouse in another state and go fully online with your boutique. You just need to be consistent. You need to show up for your people. You need to set a realistic goal, and you need to go after it. And that's really what I'm going to dive into in the planning section here. So let's go ahead and get started. Step 1 of planning, setting your goal. Like I just mentioned, you need to think about what's realistic for you. I know some people who are joining us here today, you might be a social media marketer within a business or organization. You might be someone who is an entrepreneur with a new and growing team and just getting your business started, or you might be a solopreneur, and that means you are somebody who is wearing all the hats. You are the photographer. You are the marketer. You are the website designer. You are the fulfillment person. You are going and running errands and doing this, that, and the other. You are sending out the emails. You're doing a lot of different things. And so you have to be realistic when you're setting your goal. You have to think about how often do you want to post? And you have to think about what's realistic. Is it realistic for me right now over the course of these 3 months that I'm planning out? Should I only post 1 time a week? Can I post twice a week? Can I post 3 times a week? What does that look like for me as a solopreneur, as an entrepreneur, or as someone who's on a marketing team and has access to all of these talented people like Abby, who's really good at graphics, or like videographers that we work with like Lemoyne Productions and Kel Bonton? Do we have access to other people like that who can help us? Step number 2 is brainstorming your categories. So once I've set my goal, let's say for sake of example, I just want to post twice a week. I know that that's realistic for me. I don't have a ton of budget to work with really with graphic designer professionals or with videographers. I just have what I can do on my iPhone. And that's great. That's perfectly fine. So now I need to think about what are my categories going to be? What are the upcoming events happening over the course of these next 3 months? That might be one of my categories. If I'm a business that has a lot of events, I want to make sure that I'm sharing those with my audience, or that celebrates a lot of different holidays. For example, Little Cakes with Big Attitude. They have a few key holidays that happen throughout the year that we want to make sure we have on the calendar, that we're promoting, because they have such specific products that they offer during those seasons. For example, Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is a massive season, massive time for Little Cakes with Big Attitude. But maybe, yes, but maybe Mother's Day is another day that is huge for your business. So you want to make sure that you're being attentive to that as you're brainstorming what your different categories are. Are there certain holidays during that season? The next category might be, you ask yourself, how can you relate to your customers? So you might just be simply asking them questions, this or that, or hey, meet our team, learn a little bit about them more personally. Maybe you introduce one of your customers too and say, hey, these are the kind of people that shop in our store or shop online with us, or the type of clients that we work with. How can we relate to our customers? How can we get them to engage with us and get to know us more personally, and for us to get to know them more personally too? Another question you might ask is, how can I educate my audience? That might be behind the scenes posts of, hey, at Ugly Mug, this is how we schedule posts, or this is how we create content, or this is how we structure our team meetings, or this is how we do leadership training. That might be in the form of behind the scenes videos or did you know posts, giving them a little bit more educational insight on what your business does or how your business operates. And then the last one that you might consider is, how can you sell to your audience? So we know this to be true. People do not buy from us. People buy from other people. And so it's really important that we share reviews, that we have product and service videos, that not only written reviews, but video reviews, testimonials from other customers that might look like the customers that we're trying to attract. Those are all ways that we can sell to our audience and categories that we might need to include in our strategy over the course of the next 3 months. All right, Tim, you can go to the next one. Now, step number 3 is where it all comes together. All right, before we get into the graphic design and stuff with Abby, this is where we're actually mapping out what these next 3 months are going to look like. So I have a little bit of an example here. I am setting my goal of I want to post 3 times per week. And I've decided that it's realistic for me to post on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And my categories are going to be, did you know, behind the scenes, meet the team, and then I want to make sure I'm pulling out any specific holidays that are happening during the month of April, in this example here on the left-hand side. And then on Mondays, I think I'm going to switch it up a little bit. On Mondays, I'm going to do this or that. On Wednesdays, I'm going to be sure to post reviews or testimonials for my customers. On Friday, I'm going to do product spotlights. So actually selling whatever my service or my tangible product or online product is to my customers. And then again, I want to make sure that I'm touching on those events and holidays. And so in this example, maybe Mother's Day is a really important event for my business. And then I physically want to be looking at a calendar and writing out what all of these are going to be. You'll notice I also have numbers listed next to each one of these as well, where it says, okay, I need 4 did you know posts. Having that mentality instead of like, oh my gosh, I have to think of all of this content and where is it going to come from? Having these different categories makes it a lot easier to plan out what type of post you're going to create. Okay, for did you know, I need a video, or I need a graphic, or I'm just going to use a photo that I have on my phone. And then plotting that out, what that looks like across those Mondays, and then plotting out what behind the scenes looks like on Wednesdays. Same thing for Fridays, and then those intermittent holidays that pop up across the board. Now, as a part of our gift to you, not only this presentation and your opportunity to hear from the experts themselves, we also have a really awesome freebie, and it is actually a guide. I don't even know how many pages it is. I think it's like 12 pages, maybe. It's a 12-page guide to putting together 3 months worth of content in just one day. We're giving you all the secret sauce, we're giving you examples, and we're giving you a calendar so that you can actually map out what your different days that you're going to plan content are on and writing in those different categories. It is extremely helpful for me. I'm visual. I like to see it written out. Putting it on Google Calendar is just not for me. And putting the content in some sort of scheduler like Tim's going to show you, just directly doing it in there isn't really helpful for me either. It's really nice in the planning process to physically write things down, to map it out, to pick your categories and make it seem a little bit easier to tackle these things, because it can feel really time consuming. And we're here to tell you that it's not. You can do all of this in just one day. Now, I want a quick walk through a real example. I'm already talking longer than I should. So here's the real life application. So my client that I've been working with, I love working with Robert and Kenny over at Glaston, etc. They are a vehicle accessory, window tinting. They really take seriously the etc. part of Glaston, etc. Okay. And so there's a lot of different content that we could create for them. Now, my time commitment to creating content for them specifically and mapping it out is 2 hours per month to create 1 month of content. I've gotten really efficient. So if you mapped that out or multiplied that out across 3 months, I'm really only spending 6 hours of my day creating content over the course of 3 months. Now, my goal for them is to post 3 times a week. We post on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So our themes are recent work. We want to show off any recent work that has come through the shop, cool projects that they've had. I was just showing Abby and Tim before this. They did a really cool project for KALB. They built a storm chaser. And if anyone has seen the movie Twister, it is like way cooler than anything that they used in Twister.
Is it anything like, I don't know if you ever watched that. It used to be on Discovery Channel, maybe? Storm Chasers or something like that? Was it one of those?
Yes, it's like the ultimate tricked out storm chaser car. Like they've got this video camera thing on the top of it, and the guys were laughing. They were like, we don't know what it does, but we just keep calling it R2D2. But anyway, I digress. So we want to show off those really cool projects because maybe there's another news station in Louisiana who needs a storm chaser car and they don't know who can do that. So we want to highlight those cool projects. Then we want to talk about featured services. That's another category. Like I said, they take the etc. part of their name very seriously. And there are a multitude of different services that they offer that cater to different people. Whether you are a business and you need work trucks and someone to help trick out your fleet, or you're just an individual who needs to get their windows tinted. We want to make sure we're selling to each one of those different individuals every single month. Then the next one is Spotlight Product. So giving people some education on why they might need window tint or why they might need, one of the things that I just posted about was a protective ceramic film that goes on your car. And it protects your vehicle from scratches, from dents, from bugs. It's bug season in Louisiana right now. It is love bug season. So if you drive on the highway, the whole front of your car is just covered in bugs and you kind of have to scratch them to get them off. And so what that protective film does is makes it easy that you can just wipe them off. Okay, did you know about that? Because I didn't know about that before I wrote that post, y'all. And then the last category for them is financing. We always want to make sure we have one piece of content going out there for financing. So if you go to the next slide, Tim, I actually just have a couple examples of what these look like. So the first one is recent work. I actually went there and took these pictures on my iPhone. So if you think they look good, I'm not a professional photographer, okay? These are just iPhone pics. And I simply just put together a little collage of all of those and then highlighted Shelton Energy, which is a company that they work with to help trick out their fleet and get all of their work trucks ready to go out into the field. Then I have that Love Bug educational post, and then that featured service, which is custom leather seat installation, which I think Abby actually helped put together that post, which is really awesome. So that's what we've got as far as planning your content and what it looks like in real life application. You can do this. And that guide that we're providing, that's free. I think we have a link in the description below, or we can drop that in the comments. If you fill out your email address and first name in there, we will make sure that you get a free download with that guide to creating 3 months of content in just 1 day or 8 hours, guys. Remember, we're not pulling all-nighters.
That's right.
So now that we've got the planning done, I'm going to pass it over to Abby, and she's going to talk to us about creating. Okay, so writing copy. We're not going to dive into, the specifics of copywriting, but just how to get organized with your copywriting and then how to create really beautiful graphics. So take it away, Abby.
All right, so now you've got your plan. Let's put that plan into action. So Tim, can you go to the next slide? We have 2 phases to the creation process. You got the copywriting phase and you got the graphic design phase. Doesn't matter which one of these phases you do first. I'm a visual person, so I like to make graphics and write my copy based off what those graphics kind of look and feel. But then maybe you're more excited about copywriting. You can go and do that first and then base your graphics off of that. Today, we are going to start with the copywriting process. Tim, thank you. All right, so today we are going to talk about how to set up your copy. And where are we going? We are going to Google Docs. Google Docs is easy to write your copy in as far as setting it up. You can share it with your team, and it just keeps you really organized. It automatically saves all your work for you. And then once you've written your copy out, you can go to the share button, which is really nicely placed behind one of those stickers up in the corner, and copy that link and email it to your coworkers so they can grammar check you, or look over the document too and give you some comments and feedback on it. But today we're going to talk about how to organize and set up your strategy in this document. And I think in our little package that we've got going on, if you drop your email, you will get a template to set this up in. But we are just going to walk through it real quick. So first off, what you want to do when you're setting up your copywriting template to keep you organized is start with your title. And this title is going to include the month of the strategy you're creating and the year. Then once you've done your graphics, you're going to go in and include that corresponding graphic that you can go back and implement into this. And then you're going to add a title. That is going to be your post date. And then that you are going to post that content on Facebook. And then you're going to type out your strategy. And so what this does when you're using this template is it's going to pull that title and that header and put it over here on this side, on this navigation bar, so you can easily scroll through and find the post for each day. And that is just a really easy way to keep yourself organized when you're making these 3 months of strategies. Next, we are going to
I was just going to jump in. We actually have this mapped out. Abby mentioned this, but we do have the template in our packet, in our guide, and we already have it mapped out for the month of May, June, and July. So that is already set up. That little navigation is going to pop up for you. All you have to do is go in and drop in your content and make a copy of it for the next 3 months after that.
Yeah. Super easy to use. Next, we are going to jump into my favorite part, which is the graphic design phase. we suggest using Canva. Canva is super user-friendly and easy to navigate, and there's just so much fun things to do in Canva. And I'm just going to kind of go through a few of my favorite things that are really going to help you come up with those strategies really easy. So maybe you're not like a creative person. You're like, Abby, I do not want to spend forever thinking about what I'm going to put on these graphics. No worries, I got you. So say for this example, Mother's Day is coming up. I know I got to make a Mother's Day post. You are going to go over here to this little template button, and you're going to just search Mother's Day, and you're going to pick out whichever one of these you like. And then you're like, well, I want to make it fit my company's colors. I want to change the text on it. I want to add my logo. Pick out one of these templates. You're going to go, you can change the colors, upload a photo. Maybe you want to upload you and your mom and add it to the graphic. Upload that there, upload your logo here, and then put that on the template, and voila, you're done. You got the graphic. But maybe you want to do a little bit more. Tim, can you get to the next slide? Maybe you're like, I really like this template, but I could really do without that font and that color of that font. I want to change it around. So what you can do is you will go to the text button here on the side, and then it's going to pop up this little search bar. You can search through all these fonts, or you can actually upload your own. So if there's a font that your business likes to use a lot and you don't see it here in Canva, you can easily upload it to Canva and save it to what they call a brand kit, which you can also save your brand colors to. So you have your font, you've selected it, you want to change the size here up at the top, you can change the color of your font, you can change the alignment, you can even actually do a lot more with your font. If you go to the next slide, Tim, you can spice it up even more. So if you go to these little three dots, these three dots here in the corner, another little drop down bar will pop up, and it will have animations, effects, so many things that you can add to your text. So if you click on your text and you want to add a little animation, it will turn your graphic actually into like a kind of a mini video. And this is really eye-catching and a super easy way for people to, when they're scrolling, something to catch their eye. And all you have to do is just click that little button and it does it for you. Now we are going to talk about brand colors. So like I said, you can upload your fonts and add it to a brand kit, but you can also do your brand colors. So instead of just trying to color match your colors every time you go in here, you can go ahead and save them to that brand kit. You can change the colors of different, like I said, change the fonts. You can also change colors of different elements. So on this graphic here, on this slide, I added in a gradient effect to the graphic, and I changed it to pink, but I could easily select that element again and change it to blue super easily. Other things that you can do on Canva, if you go to the next slide, Tim, are add in those elements. So not only can you change the colors of them, but you can go select so many different things from the Elements tab. So there's different shapes that you can use, different stickers, different graphics, and you can change the colors of them. So say you didn't want to use a template to begin with, but you want to create that Mother's Day post. So you uploaded a photo, you have it on your template, and now you want to add in a sticker. You could go to the search bar right here above and search Mother's Day, and different Mother's Day stickers or graphics will pop up that you can add to your post and then change to your brand colors. So that's really all I have for the Canva portion and graphic design portion. These are just a few of my favorite things, but as you get in here, you'll see there's so many different things that you can do with Canva that's really interesting. And so like we said, we'll have a lot of graphic design, I guess, ideas for the different categories that Hannah was talking about in that package that we have at the end that you can put your email in the comments, I guess, for. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, is that right?
Yeah, you can put your email in the comments, or we have a link in the comments to go to a page through Ugly Mug, and you can fill out your information, and then you'll be able to download it there. I did see a comment come through from Kendra. She said the content document template link is not working. We will get that fixed. I do have a link for that. So once we're all wrapped up here, I will drop that new link in the comments. And then for those of you that have filled out the form through that website, I will directly email y'all the correct link to the content document template. So you can get on your way to creating content in just one day.
So once you've created your graphics, you're just going to download them, and then you can go back into that copywriting document that we were talking about and drop them in there. And that way you have it all in one place. Awesome.
Exactly.
And now you're ready for the implementation process.
Yeah, and I was going to say, off of one thing Abby said, is to kind of just play around with it. You never know. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff in Canva that's honestly, you just won't know that's there until you accidentally stumble across it. Even when we first started, we do like a whole like kind of Canva training thing. And I think they have Canva training classes on YouTube and things like that. But it's like, I feel like every day I'm just kind of clicking around and find something new.
I know, like this week in team meeting, like in our company team meeting, Abby and Tim were like, oh yeah, there's this new thing, like this new feature. And I'm like, I didn't even know that that was there. I was just in Canva this morning. So it's always changing, just like the world of digital marketing. And so it's fun to see those new updates coming through.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Cool. So now you've gone through the planning process, you've gone through your creation process. So honestly, like the hard work is over. Can I get an amen from the group here?
Amen.
Thank you,
Yes.
Abby.
It's literally the longest, most grueling part, especially when you're doing it the first time. This is the fun part.
Mm-hmm, exactly. So you've done that. You've got everything planned out. You got everything created. So the next part 3 is going to be actually implementing it, putting it into practice. So there's going to be a few different ways you can do this, but honestly, the number one way I would recommend to do it is by making Facebook do the work for you. What I mean by that is you could do like, say for instance, on your personal profile, whenever you want to post something, you just, pull up your phone and you post it right then and there. If you're going to do that for your business profile, you would probably honestly forget things every now and then. That would just become like a really big hassle because you'd have to remember, on May 6th at 12 p.m., I need to go make that post. Well, what if a customer comes in May 6th at 11:59 p.m.? You can't really just tell them, hold up a second, I've got to make this Facebook post real quick, can you? So what you want to do is honestly just put Facebook to work. The resources are there. The resources are free. Why not use them? So there's 2 ways you're going to do that. One is by using the Meta Business Suite, which I don't know if you haven't heard, but I guess Facebook kind of rebranded to Meta a little bit, but they're also still Facebook. It doesn't really make any sense. But I'll show you how to use that and how to access it. And then the second one is going to be Creator Studio. It's a little bit similar, but there's, I guess, some like small differences within it or within each. So for this next part, we're going to go live, excuse me, from my laptop. So let me figure out.
I love this graphic, Tim.
Thank you. Just so y'all can see it. In fact, just so everybody can see it without us. Just wanted to show that off. All right. Share. Screen share. All right. Oh boy. Can y'all see that?
Yep, we can see it.
All right, perfect. So here we are. First, I'm going to show you how to get to the business suite. So right now I've got the Ugly Mug Marketing Facebook page pulled up, pretty simple. Your business's Facebook page probably looks a little bit similar, honestly. You've got all your business tools over here on the left. You got all your posts and everything else, and your kind of metrics here on the right, on the main part. So to get there, literally all you have to do is click right here where it says Meta Business Suite. And then boom, you're there. You're halfway done. So from here, you'll see there's a whole bunch of different things. You've got notifications for when people kind of interact with your business, engage with you. You've got inbox from people sending you messages or leave comments so that you can respond. There's a bunch of stuff. The main thing we're going to kind of be focused on here is just how to implement your plan, basically. So there's going to be a lot of posting and scheduling, things like that. So the easiest way to do that really is just on this left-hand side, go to post and stories right here. Or you can honestly do it from the home tab too, but really what you're looking for is this create post button. So yeah, we'll just start there. So we'll click create post, and I actually have a post pulled up, or I guess kind of prepared. Ooh, we got a new post creation experience. I've already gone through it, so I won't bother y'all with walking through that. So anyway, once you're here, this is what it looks like. So you've got like a little preview screen right here. To start, you want to select which pages you want to post to. So if your business has Facebook and Instagram, you can select both, or you can select one or the other, kind of up to you. What's really cool is that I really appreciate having both because it saves me a lot of time. I don't have to go here and then in a separate tab, go over to Instagram and post everything like a second time. That which wouldn't make sense, am I right? So once you do that, you got our pages selected. So I'm going to start, you could start with media, but I'm going to start with the text first, just because I have that open right here. And honestly, just as to show y'all what, we actually do use these kind of, I guess, resources that we're showing.
I know. I'm like, we're not just making this up, guys.
Yeah,
like, here's the ugly mug content document.
Mm-hmm. And so literally all I'm going to do is highlight, Control C or Command C, I guess, if you have a Mac, am I right? Wrong tab. Do that. Control V. Halfway done. Next, I'm going to add a photo, upload from desktop, right there. So you can upload it from.
Sorry, I'm going to cut you off just for a second. In Canva, you can download like a group of all of your graphics as a zip file. And so it's super easy to just save those on your desktop like Tim just had, and then like go in that folder, and you can even name them in Canva which date that they correlate with. So it's easy to grab and go and add those in here quickly.
Absolutely, super easy. And there was another option here. I don't know if y'all saw it, but add from file manager. So if you don't even want to bother like searching through your files on your computer, if you go into your all tools here, there is an option to like, I guess, basically batch upload all your files. So you can do it that way as well. Typically, I just go through my folder because honestly, I usually download it right before I'm about to post it. So it's right there at the top of my downloads thing. I don't know if y'all do that too, but that's just how I kind of do it. Cool. So we've got our posts made up here. We've got a nice little preview here. You can even see right here on the right what it would look like on mobile. So you can kind of see what it would look like for somebody using their phone, because more often than not, people will be on their phone. Yeah, and there's also just different kind of previews. So you've got your Instagram feed preview as well. That one's only mobile because, again, I don't think I can name one person that uses Instagram on their computer other than maybe me, and it's for work. Anyway,
yeah.
Once you do that, you've got it all up there. You're going to want to either, I would suggest scheduling it. So you're probably, since you're creating all this content ahead of time, I would suggest also scheduling it out ahead of time. So down here at the right, you see a little publish button. Don't click that. What you want to do is click the little arrow to the right. And then a couple options come up. You can either save it as a draft. So maybe you're working on some stuff, but you think, oh, maybe that's not just right. Maybe let me sit on it for a little bit and think about it. You can save this as draft and come back to it later. Or maybe you just have like an idea and you just want to get it down before you can forget it, basically. I do that a lot. I have a whole notebook just full of ideas. Not all of them are good, I'm sure. But anyway, I digress. You can save it for draft, come back to it later. But what you're going to want to do here is click schedule posts. And then you'll have a little dialog box come up. And then, so you've got an option for Facebook and an option for Instagram. So you can post them at different times if you like. I mean, honestly, if you're making the same posts, it makes a lot of sense just to do them at the same time. So that's what we'll do for the sake of this. So I believe, Abby, this goes out on May 6th, right? This post?
Yes, May 6th, Friday, you can schedule it for 10.
Cool, for 10. So we'll do that for both. 10 a.m. And then so for actually editing the time, it's really simple. Well, I guess let me walk through the date thing first too. So you just click here and then a little calendar pops up. You can change the month. I guess you can only go a certain amount of time in advance, but you can change the month, select it. And then for changing the time, you'd select each individual little piece here. I'm not sure if y'all can see that, but so we got 10, literally just type 10. And then for here, 00. And then since we'll do AM, we'll just hit A, it'll stay AM. But if we want to do PM, you just type PM and it'll switch like that. You're right. Okay. And now here at the bottom, there is optimal times. Once you start getting into a rhythm of posting, Facebook kind of, I guess, recognizes that, and they'll like start, well, I guess not start recording. They record everything all the time, but they'll kind of give you suggestions of times to post whenever maybe your engagement is more optimal, or maybe whenever more people are going to see it, or more people within your audience are actually on Facebook. So they'll give you those kind of options. And I believe that kind of describes that here in the tooltip here as well. So read that when you get a chance. But yeah, it'll give you some options if you just aren't sure when. Of course, you can always just kind of post them whenever you feel like it, or maybe, if you feel like you know your audience really well, just post them wherever you feel, So once you do that, you're going to want to hit save. And you see down here to be scheduled to be posted May 6th, 10 a.m. You just hit schedule. Easy, am I right?
So easy. I love it.
And I'm really glad I brought up this screen because it takes me to my next point. This is another very cool tool, like within Business Manager, or not Business Manager, Business Suite. That's a whole nother can of worms. Anyway, is well, honestly, it's their own content planner. So you can kind of see when you have things actually planned out. So you can see here, we've got those two posts, or the posts from Facebook and Instagram that go out at 10 a.m. on Friday, May 6th. We've also got, every single other post that we have kind of scheduled out for this month. So it's a really great way for you to see, especially for you visual people, like to see whenever you're done. Like you can see when you have all your scheduled posts scheduled out. Maybe you can see, oh, I forgot to schedule something for May 18th. Let me go do that real quick. So it's really great. Another thing I really love is all of these holidays, because it lists out important holidays. So whenever you're planning out, say you're sitting down to plan out June's plan, strategy, whatever you want to call it, just come here and you can see all these different little holidays instead of having to like look it up. Like, oh, I wonder when Flag Day is. Who knows? It's June 14th, apparently. Also, International Picnic Day. I need to remember that. I love a good picnic. But yeah, so it's super great, super helpful, and especially for visual people like me. I love it. I use it all the time. Now, let's say, Hannah, if you will, let's look back at April. Let's say you're looking at the calendar and you say, oh no, I forgot to post on World Book Day, and maybe you own a small bookshop. What would you're probably freaking out. Am I right, Hannah?
Absolutely. I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm the worst bookstore owner ever in the world. And when you just said I own a small bookstore, I immediately thought of the movie You've Got Mail with Meg Ryan. Has anyone else seen this movie, Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks? And she owns the little bookshop on something. It's like, I can't even remember what the name of it is.
Mm-hmm.
But then he comes in and he owns this big bookstore. Gosh, great movie. She would have posted on book day.
She would, absolutely. But let's just say you forgot somehow. Now, usually, well, I guess in the past, maybe you just kind of be out of luck. Oops, my bad. We forgot to post. But luckily, there is a tool that Facebook has called backdating. Now, you cannot actually use it through Business Suite here, but that's where Creator Studio is going to come in. So Creator Studio is, here, let me pull it up real quick. Very similar to Business Suites. You can access both your Instagram and your Facebook from here. It's just kind of a different layout, and Creator Studio is more geared towards like video creators, people who do a lot of video content on Facebook. But don't worry, if you don't, you can still use it. You can still schedule out posts the same way. It's honestly very similar. The only thing is I don't believe you can access it through Business Suite. I think you have to like straight up go to the
yeah.
URL.
If you just search, if your business page has a Facebook page already and you just Google search Creator Studio, click on that top option there and it'll bring it
easy. Yeah. Or if you just go to business.facebook.com/Creator Studio, easy, you're done. Well, I guess you're not done. You're there at least though. But anyway, so to backdate something, again, make sure you've got your page selected. If you only got one business page, it's probably going to be the only one there anyway. Of course, we've got plenty, but all you're going to do is do the same kind of post creation process. Go here, create posts, and I'm just going to use the same post for the sake of, because I don't actually have a post. Maybe for the next one. Let's see. So we're going to start by pasting our thing. We've got our little our copy. We've got our little preview here on the right. Go down here, add photo. Once that uploads, easy. Now, there's a few other things like you can tag location, things like that. Distribution settings, so you can stop, the post going out to people on a certain date if you ever want to do that. But there's, I guess, not really a need to do that because, anyway, I digress. Down here, when you would select publish, again, don't click that, especially if you're backdating. You're going to click the drop-down arrow, and you have your two normal options of schedule post and save as draft, but you've also got this magical third option. So you click that, backdate. Again, it pulls up a little dialog box. Same thing, you select the date the same way. So, Hannah, I did not remember what book day was.
I think it was April 18th.
April 18th. Cool. I'll take your word for it. April 18th. That's May 18th. April 18th. Happy book day. And so let's say, I don't know, we'll post it. We want to look like we were really on top of our stuff that morning. So we're going to post it at 8 a.m. sharp. Now, this little button or this little checkbox here, hide from newsfeed. If you leave this unchecked, the post will go out right now as if it were published right now, but the date on it will say, April 18th, 8 a.m. So it will show on their feed as if it were posted recently, but of course it will say the date that it was posted a while back. Now, if you click hide from newsfeed, then it won't show on their newsfeed now, but it will show on like your business page whenever people actually go to the page to view it. So they'll be able to see it there still. It just won't show out to their current newsfeed today, if that makes sense. Does that make sense, Hannah?
Yeah, that makes sense. So they're not going to see it as if you thinking you just posted it today, even though it says a different date. But if they go to your page, then they're still going to see it there. So they will know that you're a great bookshop owner and that you definitely posted at 8 a.m. first thing on National Bookstore Day or whatever day it is.
Exactly.
First thing in the morning.
Exactly. So it'll make you look just like Meg Ryan. So once you do that, you click backdate. I won't click backdate because I don't want this to go back out on April 18th. But once you do that, easy, it's done and it's out there.
Man, Patricia just commented. She said, LOL, wish I had known that feature for Women's History Month. I posted late. See, this can be the saving grace. Sometimes people are like, I don't need to use this feature. And I'm like, but you might. You
don't need it until you need it.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. And so that's how you implement it. You've gone through all the work of planning it. You've gone through all the work of actually creating it. Honestly, the easiest part is implementing it, especially whenever you make Facebook do it for you. So yeah,
I think it's really cool in not in Creator Studio, but in Meta, the business suite. I think it's really cool how you can actually schedule on both Facebook and Instagram, but you can customize the copy on both of those too. So hashtags really are not that important. And honestly, they look a little clunky when you're cross-posting like your face or your Instagram post onto your Facebook page. But if you're able to actually go in there and delete those hashtags or only put the hashtags on the Instagram post, it just makes everything look a little bit more clean, a little bit more intentional, and a little bit more customized for that specific platform. Hashtags are super important on Instagram. A lot of people search for things based on hashtags, or things pop up in their Discover newsfeed, when they click on that little search thing, tons of stuff pops up, and that's all generated based on hit hashtags, based on locations. Abby probably knows a little bit more, can speak to that than me even. But it's a really cool feature that you're able to add or remove those or adjust the copy specifically for Instagram or Facebook. It even can be applied when you're posting like a certain video, the size or dimension of that video, and the size and dimension of those graphics, which I don't know if we mentioned this, but in Canva, they already have the dimensions of what size your Instagram post needs to be or what size your Instagram story needs to be. So as you're building your content or using those templates, you can just select whatever size based on where it's going to go. So Facebook posts are supposed to be one size, Instagram posts are supposed to be another, Instagram and Facebook stories are a different size. How do you keep up with all the things? It's all right there for you in Canva. And there's even a resizing feature too. So if you made something for a story, but you need to resize it for your Facebook or your Instagram feed, you can actually click on that button too, and it'll automatically resize it for you. You might have to do some shifting around of the text, but it takes care of it for you for the most part. So we've got our freebie package. So Tim, pull up that last slide one more time. Tell us a little bit more about what people are going to get when they download our guide to creating 3 months of content in just 1 day.
Sure. So when you download it, it's completely free, by the way. I don't know if we mentioned that. Same with Canva.
Yeah.
Again, we're not sponsored by Canva, but please use it. It's free and amazing. So what you're going to get a content day agenda. So it's going to literally just be an agenda for your day that you're going to set aside for your content creation, your batch creation. And it's just literally just outlines it for you. You don't have to think about what you need to do next or anything like that. It's all there for you. The next thing is going to be, I guess, kind of like a packet of like categories and samples that you can utilize for your business. And they work for any industry because it's all stuff that we used in the past that we use now. And it's really just great for helping you create that content. So you don't have to sit there and waste 3 hours trying to think of something, we've already done that for you.
Yeah, exactly. And really, you're going to notice in those examples, there are a lot of different industries that are featured in there. We've got Wayback's Arcade in Pineville, which is like a esports slash like old school pinball machines and video game machine arcade, and it's really cool. So we've got posts for them. We've got posts for a medical spa and them doing a cool sculpting treatment. We've got posts for a farm. We've got I mean, it's just a wide variety. So you can really see how those can apply in your business, and it might even give you a little inspiration. I know for some of them, Abby has created the graphics on there, especially for like those Meet the Team series. So it'll give you a little bit of inspiration as you're going into Canva, maybe for the first time or maybe for the 500th time, and you're creating those graphics using templates or getting, again, inspiration from our examples.
Exactly. And then next you're going to get your content planning calendar. So this is, I guess kind of what Hannah was talking about earlier, but it's literally just a calendar for you to go in after you've kind of made your or I guess you have your ideas for your content to actually map it out on the calendar so you know when it needs to be posted. That way you go in and schedule it. Next is going to be the content document template. Can't read or speak today. I'll tell you what. Wednesday is the new Monday. Anyway, your content document template. So that's going to be what we have that lays out all the copy, all the graphics, all the dates, kind of puts it all in one spot for you so you can see it. And it just makes it super easy to kind of take it and plug it into Facebook.
Yes, exactly. And like you saw, we really use that here at Ugly Mug. We really use that for our clients. The example on the slide when Abby was talking, that is a real life client. That's the document that we use for the SENLA medication access program and the cancer screening project. Abby sends that document to them over, a month, 2 months worth of content in there for them to look at and review. It's great if you are someone, again, we know not all of you are entrepreneurs or solopreneurs. Some of you are marketing people who have a team within a business or organization, or maybe you work for another agency yourself, or you're starting your own agency, or you're a freelancer. These are tools that we have found that help us, and we know that they can be beneficial to people, whether they're on, again, that solopreneur journey or someone who's a part of a marketing team and has access to a bunch of different resources. That content document is amazing because you can get everyone's feedback. You can see who left the comment.
Exactly.
I know if you use Google Docs, we might not be telling you anything new, but maybe you've never utilized Google Docs in this way. And I think it's super helpful. So again, all of these components are going to be available in our free download, which is a guide to creating 3 months of social media content in just one day. We hope that this is a tool that you can utilize. Feel free to share it with your friends and your family members, other people on your team. This guide is built for you to help you accomplish whatever social media goals that your business has created, has set, and to get social media into motion, whether, again, you've been in the game for a while or you're just getting started with your business. Any final thoughts, guys? Abby, Tim, any words of wisdom we want to leave them with as they're going on and picking their day, hopefully this week or maybe even next week? What should they keep in mind as they're scheduling that day out?
For me, I think my final words, and I guess I already kind of said it, is use resources you have available to you. So anything that's free that can make this process easier for you, absolutely use it. Make Facebook do as much work as you possibly can. Absolutely, because it's going to save you time. And if you're an entrepreneur, then time is probably your most valuable asset. So you're definitely going to save some. So absolutely, use everything that's free to you. Use everything that's a resource. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but at least try it. You never know, it might be your next kind of breakthrough kind of strategy or tool that you use and share with other people. So,
or maybe you create a reel and you go viral.
Yeah.
Who knows? But you'll never know unless you put it out there.
That's what
Abby,
I was going to say. Yeah, I was going to say just start. Don't overthink it. Like our slide said in the beginning, consistency creates miracles. So just get it out there, and then as you keep putting stuff out, you'll get better at it. So.
Yeah, exactly. I think my word of wisdom is if you're feeling like you're not creative or like writing copy is going to be really hard for you, we have that inspiration in the free download, but we also recommend going into Facebook Ads Library. If you've never heard of this tool, it is free. And it is actually a part of Facebook trying to become more transparent about advertising and who advertises on their platform, what types of ads they run. And you can actually go search Facebook Ads Library in Google, click the top option, and then you can search for any business organization that is currently running ads on Facebook. You can look at political campaigns, you can look at other coffee shops maybe that are in your area or maybe not in your area. You can spy on your competitors. I mean, it is such a valuable tool to be able to go and use and say, hey, they've been running that ad for quite some time. Surely they're not just throwing money at it for no reason. It must be working. Maybe that's the kind of graphic that I should be creating, or maybe that's the way I should write the copy, or that's how they're really good at engaging with their customers, or wow, look at their amazing testimonial. Maybe I can use that for inspiration for my business. I'm not saying go out here and copy everything that everyone else is doing, okay? But go and use it as a place that you can gather information, like Tim said. Use the resources that are available to you, and Facebook Ads Library is definitely my first place I go whenever I'm in a creative rut. Because one of my clients is an HVAC company, and sometimes HVAC is really not that exciting. And so I need to go out and look at other HVAC companies and see what they're doing. Abby works with a bankruptcy attorney in Alexandria. We love working with him, but maybe not the most exciting content.
Right,
you know,
to spice it up because it can get a little depressing. Like, so
yeah.
what you got.
Exactly. I think Tim can probably attest to that too with clients, that it's like, we love you and we love working with you, but we need some inspiration sometimes. We gotta spice it up a little bit, right? Awesome. Well, that is all that we've got here for you today, guys. Click the link in the comments below to download our free guide on how to create 3 months of content in just one day. Cheers. Happy content creating. Thank you for taking some time out of your day to join us, and we'll catch you guys next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye, y'all.